Looks like we in for some bad weather. Some bad weather. And if you know Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, you know what I mean by bad weather. Bad weather, Whitney and Heather, okay? Because the girls are trying to take down Mary Cosby, okay? The girls are trying to take down Mary Cosby, okay? And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, now, why y'all doing that? You know, Mary Cosby has no problem getting herself in trouble. So I don't think she needs y'all help to take herself down, okay? But we're gonna talk about exactly what's going on in this episode right here. It's a little disturbing to me, if you ask me. Then we're gonna talk about Mary Cosby also making an apology for some things that she said in last week's episode that we here found problematic. Okay, so we're gonna get into all of that. Make sure you guys go ahead and let us know where you're at in the chatterization. We want to know where you're at, where you're watching from, what you doing. Are you sipping on some Vita tequila? Okay. As you guys will see, Adam is not here. He will be back next week. He has some things he had to take care of. And so when you got to take care of business, you take care of your business. Okay. But next week, we're going to do a little toasterization with some Vita tequila, okay? So y'all make sure if you can get your hands on some, go ahead and do so we can celebrate the holidays together with Vita tequilas, okay? Meanwhile, we got Maryland in the building, Jersey, Chicago, Virgin Islands, Alabama. I see you. Nassau, Bahamas, San Antonio, be more baby. Nola is back in the his naive, Rochester, New York, Duncanville, okay? Boston, Philly, Upper Marlboro, New London, Connecticut. And Mara says, nobody's drinking. I'm drinking me some Vita, okay? It's got a smooth little taste to it. Okay? St. Louis in the building. Milwaukee. I ain't never been to Milwaukee. That's always someplace I felt like I wanted to go. We got Salt Lake City is in the building. Welcome, friends. Welcome. Let's go. Hey, Bernice. Let's go ahead and we got both the Bernices in the building today. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got my other boo in here. From the bus going home. Hey. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Before we get into bad weather, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, as you guys may recall from last week, Mary, in her attempts to liken Jen Shaw to a cartel, she ends up throwing in Mexican cartel, okay? And I myself, like a lot of other people, had a lot of issues with it, okay? Because it's a generalization, and now you're grouping a whole grouping of people into what we would consider a cartel. Now, I understand what Mary was trying to go with it in terms of talking about a cartel, but when you throw in, mixing in, oh, the Mexican cartel. I mean, she could have been saying the black gangs or something like that. And I would have been offended, but I'm offended for the people that she is offending right now. I am offended because I feel like, as a minority, she should know better. She should know better. Okay. And then we get this apology looking like a menu to the restaurante, okay? I didn't know what it was when I saw it. I thought it was, I legit thought it was an invitation or a menu or something of the like. I was not sure what this was that I was looking at or why it was on my screen. So I bypassed it, okay? I bypassed it. And let me read for you guys what it say in case you can't tell, okay? It says this in this incredibly interesting font. It says, I would like to take this opportunity to address a comment I made on the last episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I used in poor judgment in my choice of words. Please accept my apologies. I was not trying to single out the Mexican culture. I am African American and I know racism firsthand. I've lived it daily my entire life. It is important to me that you hear this apology from me. My comment was reckless, unintentional. See, the font is so hard to read. I gotta squint and bring my face to the screen. Okay. It says, "I'm truly sorry." Now, the hashtag she wrote on her caption say, "I love you all," hashtag apology, hashtag Salt Lake City, hashtag Bravo, hashtag Reels. This ain't no Reels. Maybe she's trying to get in on the real caption. Hashtag apology accepted. Well, how do you know if the apology accepted or not? When you put down, it's like, how you know? How do you know that it's been accepted? Hashtag make it right, hashtag love, hashtag Latinos, hashtag Salt Lake City, hashtag seek truth, hashtag seek love, hashtag love you. Now, here's the thing, Philly Diva says she wanted to distract us with this calligraphy. Okay. Now, I think most of us know what she was trying to say, and we know the awkward way it came out, and how that now she's offending an entire group of people. And it's upsetting. What would have been better would have been had she released this on, I don't know, Sunday night, Monday, because what I do know is, in general, usually the wives and the cast members will get the episode ahead of time. So they may get the episode on Thursday. Sometimes, not all the time, but they usually will get the episode on Thursday or Friday. Okay. In which case they usually have time to mentally prepare themselves for what is to come. All right. When you saw this episode, Miss Mary, I don't understand why you didn't already have your calligrapher have to scrawl this on a scroll, okay, some parchment paper when you first saw it, okay. If not, you should have had your stenciler, okay, your calligrapher on hand to take down your apology on your parchment paper, okay, and have it ready to be posted at 10:05, okay, on last Sunday night. Or, I mean, maybe your calligrapher was not available on Thursday or Sunday, in which case you could have had your parchment paper ready for this invitation style apology ready by Monday morning. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, she apologized. It's not up to me to accept it. It is up to the people that have been offended the most by it. And technically I was offended because I do consider myself, I'm a minority as well, but I just feel like at this point in time, I can't tell people whether or not to accept the apology. People have to accept it on their own time. The question I have for you guys is, do you guys accept Mary's apology? And that's that. Let me know in the chatterization. Let a brother know. Okay. But the invitations have been sent out. All right. As you can see here, she did send out your invitations. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Mary, while she's apologizing for her actions that she said on the show, what she need to be doing is she need to be worried about what Whitney got planned for her. Okay, because Whitney got some plans for Miss Mary, and it's not looking too good for her. Okay, because Whitney is about to corral the girls. All right, Whitney's gonna corral the girls to take down Mary, because Whitney can't do it all alone. Whitney knows she is no match for Miss Mary on her own, so she needs the power of Grayskull, okay, to bring all the girls together as Voltron so they can take down Mary Cosby. Okay, that's what's about to happen. But before we get into that, we got to talk about some other things that occurred in the episode. Now, as we rate this episode, because we have to do that before we get into it, we rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10, as you guys all know. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. What do you rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? And also give me why. And I'm going to tell you guys, for me, I'm going to rate this episode an 8. I'm going to rate it an 8. It was an interesting episode. There were things that were happening. It was definitely one of those sort of breather episodes after you've had a whole lot of chaos. And I understand that these episodes are necessary for us and the ladies to catch their breaths a little bit, go live a little bit of life, and then reconnect next week for more chaos, right? Bernice gives it an 8. Nora gives it a 9. Julia 7. Twan gives it a 9. Bernice 8. Black Gal 4. Ooh, dang, a 4. Woo. J True Love says Mary was rude to Whitney and Heather, but they are all doing a good job keeping the attention off of Jen. Thank you for that super chat. JMW7, okay, who says they could have done without this episode. 9, because I got some Jen action. Oh, yes, we got a little Jen action, okay? Let's see here. 8, 8, 7. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Lisa Barlow recaps her trip with John. Heather is recapping with her daughter. But I feel like Heather be telling us slightly. I like Heather overall. I do. I enjoy Heather. But I just kind of feel like it's always so interesting of me. It's always interesting to me that, you know, when she talks to her daughters, she tells her daughters that they felt they wanted to be honest with Mary. Okay. That's why they wanted to pull her into the discussion. But when you really go back and watch that episode, you really see Heather more of kind of leading the crusade of like, well, why are we even friends with Heather? I mean, the better question is, I mean, if you're going to use that logic, what Heather's saying, why are we friends with Mary? Why are you friends with Jen? I mean, if we're operating under that same logic of why are we friends with Mary, why are you so like bent on being friends with Jen? I mean, I feel like Heather is going to be the person that if listen, if by any chance Jen ends up going to timeout, I feel as though Heather will be walking her into the facility. Okay, that's how ride or die Heather is for this woman that has done called her a manatee and the Shrek. Okay, I don't understand it. It don't make no sense to me because I'm like, you are definitely willing to throw the baby away with the bathwater with Mary, but you are like all in and got no questions to ask when it comes to the allegations against Jen Shaw. It's just odd to me. It's very odd. Okay, it's like pick your poison. I'll choose this one. Okay, that's the one I want to choose. Anyway, I don't get it. All right. Bad weather. Let me know what's going on. Mary is recapping this situation with Robert Sr. and she wonders, okay, and as sometimes as a minority, you can't help but look at situations like this, right? You have to ask yourself, because she asked herself this question. She says, you know, is this a brown girl thing where now like everybody is like kind of like, you know, coming at the brown girl? I mean, is that what this is? Because it's almost like they're saying, well, I mean, you know, now that this whole situation has gone down with Jen, we need to be on the lookout for Mary too. But I'm gonna stay friends with Jen because, you know, I like her a little bit more. But that Mary, why we friends with her? That's what it feel like to me. It don't make sense, but it is what it is. Okay. Robert Sr. pretty much summed it up that this is just how it is in Utah. Okay. And that's the general sense that I get, to be honest with you, is that, you know, if you are a person of color in Utah, it may be a little bit difficult for you. That's the general sense that I get. And I don't mean that in a negative way for people who are not of color. Okay. But that's just this. It seemed like it's a hard time. Okay. It is what it is. So Whitney recaps this whole situation with her husband. Meredith is just wanting to walk her dog in her pantsuit. Okay. Meredith got a pantsuit for every scene that she's in. Jenny, for some reason, is still in shock that Meredith want to go hire a PI because she's receiving some threatening messages. Let me tell you something. You know, I really am trying my hardest to like Jenny. I is, okay? Because she brings something different to the table, right? But why are you up in arms about Meredith hiring a PI to find out who is sending her threatening messages? Wouldn't you want to know who was sending you threatening messages? Why should she not take her time to try to figure out who is sending her and her family some threatening messages? Let's see what happens if you get the same threatening messages. What you want to do? She said, I don't know why Meredith didn't go to the police. Then it would be Meredith actually went to the police about these threatening messages against her family. Why would she do it? I don't get it. I don't understand why Jenny is even so invested in it. You ain't got nothing to do with this, okay? Nobody sent you not nay message. You wasn't even here. You barely go here. I mean, call a thing a thing. All right. Jen texts and calls Lisa from a new number. Now, Lisa is sitting there with her husband like, I don't know if I want to talk to her. Because last time I was talking to her, this girl cursed me out while I was in the car with my kids. Okay. And then she got carted off by the popo. So I don't know if I feel like talking to her or not. Okay. So she's not gonna answer the phone right now. But apparently Heather, bad weather, is ready to pick up that phone at the drop of a dime. Okay. So Heather is determined to be the unjudgmental friend to Jen, not to Mary. She's gonna be the unjudgmental friend to Jen. Because Jen is asking God, the Lord, to show her who her real friends are. And since Heather was the only person that picked up the phone with no questions asked, God has deemed that bad weather is the only friend. Okay. So they meet for lunch. Jen goes into the story of, oh, I love Jenny's daughter. Now give me Jenny's daughter all day. Jenny's daughter is fun and festive, and she got that personality. She is funny, okay? Anyway. So they meet for lunch. Jen gives the story of what happened that day when she got that phone call. She says this: I got a phone call from Sharif's number. You know, sometimes, girl, his assistant called me. Okay, was it the assistant that called you? Who told you to say that he was in the hospital with internal bleeding? And why is nobody asking that question? Heather, why are you not asking anything about, girl, did Coach Shaw have internal bleeding? And why did you tell us that? Okay, why would you make up such a heinous lie about your husband? All right. Anyway, we don't know who was on the phone. She don't say. And Heather don't ask. We did learn that, we did talk about how disturbing this was, seeing, you know, the kids and her cousin or nephew or whoever it was being escorted out of the house at the gunpoint, and that they had lasers on them. And then Jen wonders to herself, listen, I wonder if they asked Stu these same questions. I mean, if they came at Stu's house like this with these guns blazing and stuff like that. Or is it because of me? Because I'm a brown girl. Okay. That's basically the inference that we was getting at that moment. And I kind of wondered too. Because we definitely didn't hear no heads nor tails about, you know, how it was that Stewart came to end up in the precinct that day. All we do know is that he was there. All right. But anyway, I'm kind of disturbed about that, because as she's telling the story about the kids, I was just kind of like, ooh. But then I was reminded, because she had to tell us herself that it was she who could have potentially put her kids in that situation in the first place because of what actions she was alleged to have taken, that she is telling us that she has not taken. This girl is basically proclaiming her innocence and saying that she did not do these things. Okay. Now, when she ran into Stewart, who was her ace boon coon, her ride or die, her to her Stimpy, okay? She said that he told her, I'm sorry. Well, what you sorry for, Stu? What did you do? What did you say? Okay. What conversations had you had with the Popo? All right. That's what I want to know. And then Jen is basically like, well, Stuart was my former assistant. Okay. And he has his own businesses and they have nothing to do with me. And Heather's basically like, now listen, in her confessional, she says, Jen is trying very hard to distance herself from Stuart. But why? Okay, because we all know that they've been working together. So it just seems odd that she's making this concerted effort to distance herself. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, this is all falling apart right now. Okay. And they about to turn on each other. In my mind, and I don't know this to be true, all commentary is alleged. In my mind, it seems like if she said that Stuart said, I'm sorry when he saw her down to the precinct, Stuart might have been, or could have been, possibly, maybe singing like a canary, okay? And now Jen has totally changed her stance on Stuart. I don't know what this man's business is. He got businesses of his own, and I do not work with him no more, okay? And I'm like, wasn't it just a couple of weeks ago that y'all was talking about how close y'all was and how much you did for his family? Ooh, the tables have turned, baby. The tables have turned. Heather, bad weather, then takes the opportunity to recap how Lisa was on the phone with all her lawyers, okay? And you know something that was funny when Andy asked on Watch What Happens Live last night why Lisa was on the phone with all her lawyers after the whole thing broke down. Lisa was like, because I can. Okay. When you got 6 lawyers, yeah, you can call them whenever you want to too. I'm sure they charge you about a minute or something like that. But anyway, personally, if I was in that situation, I would be calling my lawyer too. Like, hey, this just happened. Why do you think something like this would have gone down? And then how am I supposed to deal with this? What am I supposed to say moving forward? Because you have to know that media is going to be calling all of these ladies after something like that breaks. So yeah, I'm calling my lawyer to figure out what I should be saying, how I should maneuver around in this situation. And yeah, I mean, I might not have 6 lawyers, okay, but I'm calling somebody. Okay, I'm gonna call somebody who in law school to help me. Okay, I get a discount, you know. But to me, I'm like, you know, Jen is basically maintaining her innocence. Now, the other part of bad weather, who is Whitney, is with her husband recapping this incident over Chipotle. They recapping their day. Now, this is some things that I'm trying to understand. Whitney, please help me understand this. Whitney has been taking half of her savings, okay? Half of her savings. Oh, their savings. For her business. Now, to give you guys perspective, her business is called Iris and Bow. She is changing the name of this business to Wild Rose Beauty or something to the sort. Now, I can tell you guys this because I know and I understand how these things work now. Because I know she's not making these potions in the back of her house. She probably has a manufacturer and she probably has a fulfillment center, which can be one and the same. Now, because I know how this whole thing works, okay, because I do have my own brand and I've had to go down to the Atlanta to the fulfillment center. I've had to work with the manufacturer. I understand. First of all, why are you taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for them to create you a new name and to slap the labels on it? Okay. Again, because you're not making these potions downstairs in the basement. She can't be. At least she ain't alluded to it. In which case you need machinery, you know, to churn the batter and make the whipped. Side note, I love me some whipped anything. If you get me some whipped body butter, some whipped beard butter, I'm in love with it. Give me something whipped any day. But anyway, um, why are you spending hundreds of thousands of dollars into your savings for this? That I mean, at the most, 5,000, 5,000 at the most, right? And I guess, and also depending on how many units you're ordering, okay? And I still know it ain't that much. And if you ordering that much, you ordering too much in the beginning. Okay, you need to test the market and see what's gonna work, right? So I'm just in my mind, I was like, girl, what are you doing? Okay, because I know it don't take that much money to do this. Then she says they still have to invest more, and she's applied for $1 million line of credit. Now, are you building a building? Okay, are you building a facility for yourself? Are you building a mansion? Your house? I don't even listen. I don't know how much a house is, but what are you doing with this $1 million line of credit? For what? For this stuff? That's not no. And then if they can't get the loan, or even if they do, I can't remember. They got to do an extra $250,000, and he's gonna have to co-sign for the $1 million loan. Then she gonna admit she bad with money. You know what? If she don't hire a business manager, she better talk to Heather. Why don't you put some of those products up in Heather's place of business and start getting some sales there first? Make a little money first. This whole thing was very I was like, what is happening here? We're gonna take a break from that, but we're gonna come back to it because we got to go into Mary's closet. You know, in the past, when we have seen Mary's closet, the little scenes that we have gotten did not really do Mary's closet justice. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. My closet is overflowing at this point. And y'all know something, I have a problem wherein I'll buy new stuff, but I'll still wear the same things all the time. Cause it's just easy. I can pull out I know something that don't have no wrinkles in it. I don't feel like ironing it. It just fits just right. It's the most comfortable thing. I might not be going nowhere for 2-3 days straight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pick out the most comfortable pieces of articles of clothing to wear. I got clothing for events that I have no clue that I'll ever go to. You know, so I understand having a plethora of things in your closet feel like it's running over. But Mary's closet took over her bedroom. Okay, half of what we've been seeing is her bedroom. It won't even the closet. The closet is worse. Okay, Mary is a hoarder. She need to be on one of them shows. She needs somebody. And the girl that they brought up in there, she looked too. I mean, listen, she looked overwhelmed. She looked. I don't even know how she was going to deal with all that. She looked ill prepared for it. I feel like we need somebody a little bit more. That girl felt very passive to me. We need somebody that's going to come up in there and say, you're going to have to get rid of some of this stuff. You know you ain't wearing this. And so that's why it ends up being that when we see Mary with her fashions on, it just looks like she threw on 18 pieces of clothing. Okay, it'd be 10,000 layers on Mary. She'd be draped in jewels, coats, cloaks, sweaters, cardigans, skirts, boots, a hat, a scarf around her head, you know, sunglasses that was falling off the beret last week. It would just be a lot. And I'm like, I get it, Mary. What Mary is trying to do, I think Mary said to herself, you know what? I'm gonna wear all my clothes today. All of this is getting worn, okay? One on top of the next. As much as I can fit onto my body. That's how much I'm gonna put on here. Okay. It was a mess. It was a mess. But thankfully, and this should be a storyline, this is and interestingly enough, though, she equates her desire to have all these things. She's sort of substituted having her mom around, and now she has these things, and now she cares more for her. You know, these things have replaced those familial relationships. Baby, where is Iyanla? Where is Iyanla? Now that's a storyline right there that needs to be explored. Well, after the girls take her down, because you know they're about to do that. Lisa and Meredith go horseback riding. They ride the horses. And essentially, this is a situation where Meredith and Lisa yet again do not agree on who's at fault for the whole Mary situation. Meredith feels like they are all at fault because they were all talking about Mary behind her back and really did not allow Mary to have an opportunity to really defend herself or speak her truth. But low-key, when they asked Mary about it, Mary kind of shut everybody down and was like, it's none of y'all business. Lisa blames bad weather for everything. She blames Whitney and Heather for everything. Anything that's wrong in life, it's bad weather's fault, okay? Whatever has gone wrong in your life is bad weather's fault, okay? Anything that's going on in my life that's wrong, it's probably bad weather. And so they are at a stalemate because they can't seem to agree on whose fault it is that Mary is now in this position that she is in. And, you know, anytime somebody bring up Cameron, Lisa get to crying and, you know, all kinds of other things because she feels so hurt by what happened to him. So I don't know. They just at a stalemate. We get a scene with Jenny. She goes to the Vietnamese cafe where they are planning a luncheon for all the ladies. I have to tell you guys the truth. I really started to fast forward this scene because outside of the daughter and her cracking her jokes, there was really not much there. Okay. We get an interesting scene with Coach Shaw and Jen while they eating their Popeyes. Okay. She is upset because she has reached out to everybody from her new phone and nobody is picking up the phone because they don't know your number. Okay. Coach Shaw tries to tell her, girl, don't nobody got your new number. They don't know who calling them. I don't know about y'all. I'm not answering no calls from nobody I don't know. Half the time it say scam likely anyway, so I'm not picking up the phone. So what do you expect? Additionally, you are public enemy number one. Why do you think that everybody is going to be there for you? What do you think? What did you expect will happen when people hear that the popo is raining down on you and you plastered over the news for doing all these alleged crimes? Do you think that everybody's going to throw you a party? Welcome back, girl. Good to see you. Nobody's going to do that. Let's just be real. Let's be real. You got to give people time to process. And she's unwilling to do that. And then she even goes so far as to say, we have done a lot for the people in your family, on your side of the family, Sharif. And where they at? Ain't nobody calling me back after all I've done for them. Okay. Now, if the popo are right and the allegations are true, then everything that was done for them was done with money taken from the elderly. Okay? That's if the accusations are true, which we don't know if they are yet or not. So if you can see why those same people might feel a certain type of way if you done stuff for them with money taken from the elderly, okay? And how they gonna feel now? So you got to give people a little time to process and deal with their emotions before you just start crying about how ain't nobody there for you. Okay, that should be the last thing that you got dealing with. To be quite honest with you, every inch of your time need to be spent either on your knees in prayer or trying to come up with your defense or whatever the case may be. What are these people going to do for you anyway, aside from pray for you? What they going to do? What are they going to do? All right. Bruce says, but my thing is, if she had common sense, she would have sent a group text saying it's her new number and to store it, then call them. Okay. Why you change your number anyway? I mean, did they post the number someplace? Did everybody know it? I don't know. Ashley says, you missed my super chat. Ashley, please charge that to my mind and not my heart, baby. Ashley said, I sell whipped body butter for men too. How can I send you some? Hey, man, to that, my shipping information is in the description of this video. Go ahead and send me some whip, something or other so I can slap it on myself, okay? And sometimes, you know, I'll put it on 2 and 3 times a day just because I like to put my fingers in the whip and just, that might be a fetish. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, the link, my information is in the description of this video. Send it on over, or put a link in the description so that we can all purchase it. I'm game for supporting the business too. You know what I'm saying? We support around here. We saw that. Yeah, go ahead and put that link in the description, boo. Low key, the first person that Jen should have been calling is Mary, because sound like she got a load of money. We learned that Jen's retainer for her lawyers is $1.5 million. All right. But this, you know, Coach Shaw is a good man. He says, I will not leave you. Period. Period. He is going to stand by his woman. And that always just makes me wonder, like, man, did you know what was going on here? I mean, if this is true, obviously we let people be innocent until they proven guilty in the court of law. That's what they say. My question is, did Coach Shaw know anything? Was he ever suspicious? Girl, how you making all this money? Can I see your pay stub? How you throw an $80,000 party? I mean, you know. Yes. Let us know. Y'all, if y'all got a business, let me say this. If y'all got a business, drop it and put a link in the description. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? We want to support. Okay. Thank you, Natty. Let us know. Let us know where we can find it. Anyway. So we get back to Whitney's house for the rebrand photo shoot with the brand ambassadors. How you got brand ambassadors before? Whatever. Heather shows up along with Jenny. Already in my mind, I'm calculating because she's doing this photo shoot at her house. I am calculating. Now, I have an assistant, y'all. Now, she my cousin, but she's still my assistant and she good, okay? So she had found me somebody that could do me a photo shoot because I needed some more professional photos, right? So the photo shoot with this particular company, I think is about $3,000, but they do a lot for you, right? They provide everything for you, staging. You go to a location, they got coffee for you, lunch for you, and all types of good stuff, right? Okay. So I'm estimating in my mind, as soon as I see this scene playing out, I wonder how much this costs. Now, granted, I also have done photo shoots for $200. Okay. I don't mind paying. I'm paying what you tell me to pay. Okay. But you know, I know that photo shoots can range, you know, from about 200 up to 3,000 to 5,000, right? Depending on who you're using. Tell me why, as Jenny, now this is where Jenny makes the most sense to me. When she can come into a scene and say, no, none of this stuff makes sense. You need to fire this whole team. Whitney is in the house taking some photos of these people with some flowers and not a stitch of product. Okay. There's no product in anybody's hands. There's none. No product. And the photo shoot was $20,000. Are you shooting for Vogue? I mean, what is this? Why is this happening? Jenny walks into the scene and is like, wait, they posing with the puppy. Where is the product? They're posing with the puppy and flowers, and you spent $20,000. See, this is our. I don't know how many mistakes we've made along the way, Whitney, but this is definitely one of them. Okay, and for $20,000, I'm gonna need photos for every day of the year. I'm gonna need them edited too. Actually, I need these photographs to move. Okay, I need them to move. I need also for $20,000, you're gonna post the photos every day. Okay, you're gonna make my ads as well. I need video. Okay, I need about an hour. I need $20,000. Girl, make me a documentary. All right. That's what you need to be making me for $20,000. A documentary. Actually, for $20,000, you should be on the streets selling my photos and my products that I don't have in the photo. It didn't make no sense. It's a fashion show with no fashions. Lala Chanel says, Jen is delusional. Ain't nobody trying to get in trouble with you on this new phone. Who this? I say, Whitney, what are you doing? See, if she was a little bit more worried about her product launch and a little less worried about spending 3 hours talking to Cameron, trying to get dirt on Mary, that y'all should have, if y'all wanted dirt on Mary, y'all should have got that dirt last year, because everybody was talking about her when she came, when it was released that she was going to be on the show. So y'all going to wait a whole, what, two years later, a year and a half later? Now you want to make this into a situation because you mad at her? This is what I don't like, okay? This is what I don't like. I don't like that Whitney will say then to Heather and Jenny, well, yeah, I had a 3-hour conversation with Cameron. I'm going to confront Lisa about it for whatever reason. She's not going to tell us on camera what exactly Cameron said. So now we are sitting here waiting in the dark, got to figure out what it is that they talked about for 3 hours, okay? And she's going to confront Lisa about it. What you confronting Lisa about it? Confront Mary about it. If you got, Mary is the person you got an issue with. Now, granted, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I did not like the way that Mary was talking to Whitney. I definitely did not like that. But Whitney, you need to start learning how to fight your own battles. And she point blank tells Heather and Jenny that she can't take Mary on by herself because Mary will overtalk her because Mary's used to talking to the people in her church. No, Whitney, you need to step your game up if you really want to operate in this world of housewives. And when you need to confront somebody and get with them, you just need to learn how to get with them on your own instead of trying to recruit Bad Weather, Jenny, Lisa, Meredith, and the rest of the girls to try to take Mary down for some stuff that you heard from Cameron. As a matter of fact, most of this stuff, again, has been out there about Mary since long before this season ever started. So why all of a sudden is it coming out now? And I don't listen. If you got, and here's my thing, listen to what I'm saying. If she has a problem with Mary because of the way Mary spoke to her, I definitely understand that. I totally get it. If she has a problem with the fact that she feels like Mary is doing something manipulative to her, to the people in her congregation. Number one, why was you in her church? Why was you taking your daddy to her church? Why was all y'all up in that church if that's how you felt? Second of all, third of all, here's the thing. I don't even have a problem with her having a problem with what's going on in Mary's church. But my problem is when you think that you need to corral the rest of the women, okay, to try to take down this woman, this black woman. I don't like that. Have your problems and let them be your problems. But when you start trying to say, I need you guys to back me up so that we can all take her down together, I do not like that. I don't like it and I don't respect it. And I don't like it on any franchise when all of the women do the gang up situation on one person and try to get them either iced out the group or off the show. Don't like that stuff. Toya says Whitney is deflecting because her husband ... Thank you, Toya. Whoa. Toya Caldwell says, why was Whitney's husband accused of Allegedly. All commentary is alleged. I did not know that. Okay. I know somebody mentioned it last time, but I can't remember what it was that was said. But that's I have a problem. Um I have a real problem when a character will try to do something like that to another character, you know, and it don't sit right with me when that character is going to all the other women to try to take down this other woman of color. It just that don't sit right with me. Again, you got a problem with her, fine. You don't like how she talked to you, fine. You don't like what you see going on in her church, fine. But let your problems again stay your problems and stop trying to recruit people into your gangbang so you could try to take her down and then do what? And then do what? I don't like that. I don't like any type of plot like that. It just don't sit well with me. If you don't like step your game up. Be a real person about it. Be a real G about it. Tell her I don't like you. I don't rock with you like that. Don't ever speak to me again. Now that I can respect. Okay, I can respect that. That's where you want to go with it. Like, okay, I mean, come on with it. But all this, yeah, guys, I need your help to help me take her down. We need to do this together because I can't do it on my own. Get out of here. Spend a little bit more time focused on your business and less time on trying to take somebody down. And then I guarantee you won't be spending $20,000 on a photo shoot. Tawanda, yes, we did hear that Cameron passed, unfortunately, which is it hurts to even have to even bring him up because he's not with us anymore. So I hate that part sucks, but yeah. Yeah, that just don't sit well with me. You got an issue, keep it with that person, all right? But like trying to get everybody else to we're gonna single this one person out, it don't work for me. And it don't even make for a good show. Um and it's kind of cowardly at the same time. And the funny thing about it is I actually like Whitney. I really do. I'm interested in following this journey. I think she's spending way too much money, but this is right here. That's not the look. Anyway, oh yeah, that was the show. We hit all the points. All right. We saw a preview for next week's episode. Mary is going to be in the hot seat with Jen. She's going to get called out also by Jenny as well. Jenny be coming for Mary a lot, but we got to wait and see how that plays out. I mean, because Mary got a mouth on her, so ain't no telling what she might have said. But it just always seems like Jenny got some type of smoke for Mary. It's very interesting. Anyway, I was definitely glad to see Jen Shaw back on the scene in this episode. Jen, whether you like her or not, is made for reality TV. She is made for reality TV. So it was interesting to see, how the ladies will react to her. She's going to be meeting up with Lisa next week, and they're going to have a little Ponderosa. So we'll see how that goes as well. I cannot remember what else we saw in the preview. But I think that's about it. Listen, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Another great recap. Salt Lake City is that show right now. It's actually really good. It's chaotic as all get out, and I'm here for it. This week, y'all, we have Real Housewives of Miami coming up. The first 3 episodes will be out on the 16th. What else? Selling Tampa is coming out on the 15th, which is Wednesday. Tomorrow, we have Tomorrow night, I will be going to see my girl Riley Knox performing. Funky Dineva is on his way here. He is flying to DC, so I got to go pick him up from the airport. So, lots going on. Make sure you guys keep it locked onto the channel. Y'all know that I love y'all, and we will catch you in the next video.